and daily grind, concrete jungle in the main. Oh God, there it is.
Oh boy.
Welcome to the daily grind. Shut up, Uncle
Woof.
Buck. Happy Wednesday. We are going 3 wide today, y'all, and we are all looking so good. We got our collared shirts on, like we're trying to impress Wayno. Wayno, I hope you're watching. But I am your host, Luke Hatmaker. On Wednesdays, I go 3 ride with the 2 Bucks of the 2 Bucks Sports Show. I have Uncle Buck. I did it right, Uncle Buck. And I have Rusty. How are you guys? How we doing, fellas?
Good, man. Life is good here in West Tennessee. And early morning hanging out with you clowns. Nothing else I'd rather be doing.
Clowns are scary, and we are scary. We're just going to jump right into it today. Let's talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. because I've realized you guys have been many thanks. You guys have been on here with me a lot, and I feel like Jaren is the one guy we really haven't talked about. I feel like he's one guy that a lot of people haven't talked about. Just kind of seems like he led our team last year. Like he was the leader of the team. You know, he was like the only guy of our big 3 that wasn't hurt the majority of the squad. He played a lot. He was the face of our team the majority of last year. And it's kind of strange to me. It's like after winning the defensive player of the year, mind you, he plays for FIBA, leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths, even though Steve Kerr really mismanaged him. And then he is the face of the Grizzlies, a Grizzlies team that is not very good. And then it just seems like people are done with him. It just seems like it just seems like he's out of sight, out of mind. And I just think that's really bizarre. And I'm for one, I'm under the impression I think we're going to have a really, really, really big season from him. But I'm curious what both of you guys, why do you think all the Jaren has fallen to the wayside, and what do you guys expect from him? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Listen, I think Jaren is just a perfect case of like it's not new news, and there's not really any storylines around Jaren because Jaren has been really good, and we feel like we finally know what he is and what he can be, and he was amazing. You know, the whole injury tag thing, he has been extremely healthy the last 3 seasons. He played 78 games in 21-22. He played 63 in 22-23, played 66 last year, qualified for all the NBA awards, by getting over 65 that they implemented. And he was the bright spot last year. There was a couple little glimmers every once in a while with your GGs and your Scotty, but like he was the star of last year. And it was really on the offensive end that really got me going because he was extremely efficient. He was able to put his head down and get to the basket. And you just don't see that out of 7-footers very often. So if you're asking why, like we're not talking about him, I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, if anything, it shows that he's done his work. And, the off-season stuff is off-season chatter is typically about drama or injury recovery, and he's not either of those. We know what he is, and we should be talking about him more, but it's not that I speak for me. I promise you, I have not forgotten about Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yes.
I think, to piggyback on that too, he keeps his nose clean. He doesn't get involved in drama off the court. He just posts, rap videos or him trying to sing, which he's not. I mean, he's better at basketball. He posts vacation pics with Brandon Clark. And then there's always been that persona too. You talk about the injury tag, Drew, also of, he fouls a lot or he fouls out a lot. He actually has more 40-point games in the last 2 seasons than he does foul outs. So he's more likely to go off than he is to foul out, but he's still labeled with some of that growing, immature player, bad decisions, whatever you want to call it, when the guy is just a hooper. And he gets buried in some of Ja's flashiness and some of the other things that going on around the league. But I guarantee you that there are 30 other basketball teams in the NBA that would be like, I want Jaren on my team tomorrow.
No doubt. And it's So my method of thinking too is you're looking if teams are building their rosters around beating Joker and beating the Nuggets, as it seems like he's the greatest player in the league right now. You look at the Timberwolves where they have Rudy Gobert and they got Karl Anthony Towns. You look at these teams, you look at the Thunder where they have Chet Holmgren and now they have Isaiah Hartenstein. These teams are building this kind of, they need a free safety roamer, dude, and they also need a big. And the Grizzlies might.
We did it first.
We did it first. Jaren was the first. Yeah. He was drafted in 2019. Is that how long ago we drafted? Like he was 2020,
18, right?
18. I mean,
yeah. He's kind of like he's the free safety when on defense, right? You've got an anchor in the middle. You had Steven Adams, who is your insert linebacker here, Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, whoever. And then Tripp was the Mike Brown or the Brian Dawkins. It's just kind of ball hawks across the lane. And he was the DPOY when he could do that. Now we've got Edey that can anchor in the middle of that court and he can ball hawk all across the court again, doing the things that Jaren does best on closeouts, block shots, reactionary defense. I mean, we hype up those guys a lot on this show because we're homers, but like, I think come December, people are going to look at that Memphis game on their schedule and go, damn, we're going to get beat up that night because Edey's going to be big in the middle and Tripp's going to be back to what he could be on defense from his DPOY year.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, you just give me those, between those three that I just said, Rudy and Cat, Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein and Tripp and Edey, I would take Tripp and Edey over those any day. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, to me, the only duo like that you can compare is Brook Lopez and Giannis. They do an incredible job being that free safety. I was going to say, Rusty, I think he's the defensive player of the year this year.
I
think he gets back to what that was. And Rusty stole my thunder a little bit, but I 100% agree with that. Like, you saw what he was last year at playing the 5 all year, and it wasn't there like stat wise, and you get back if Edey's healthy all year and he plays the role that we expect him to play on defense, Jaren's going to feast and nobody's going to shoot a layup all year.
No, not at all. Those mid-range bunnies are going to be gone. Pick and roll is going to be gone. Like that's what we saw when we had Steve-O anchoring into that defense. Jaren was a freaking menace, man. Like he led the NBA in rim protection, in field goals altered, like defense percentage, every one of them. You look it up in the DPOY year, and like they try to hype it up and make it a closer race with Brook Lopez than it actually was. But if you looked at the actual stats, Tripp was a monster, an absolute monster. And like Drew, you nailed it, man. If Edey can stay healthy, like we all need on October 25th, we all need to meet at the Forum and do some kind of like seance cleansing prayer, whatever you do, and we need to do it at the Forum to keep these boys healthy, because if Edey can stay healthy, I agree, Drew, Jaren is going to be a DPOY again.
I think that, I mean, and honestly, that's probably the more likely outcome than any sort of regression, I would say. I do want to throw this up here from Wayno because he is eligible for an early extension this season, I believe. Do you think this happens? Do you think that an early extension happens? I mean, I would think so. Why would you not?
If you're Jaren, this is the actual time. Everybody talks about their second contract. Jaren's second contract was signed after a flurry of injuries where he had that tag, and he is the most affordable. He's the best bang for your buck contract in the NBA, hands down. He's making like $20 million a year, something like that, as a defensive player of the year. Every day, I mean, great player, and so I'm sure he's ready to get that next contract because he's now, and I don't know that he's necessarily wired that way, but you're looking at now you're the third highest player on the team, and you've been here longer than those two. It's time. I've shown my dominance. I've shown what I can do. I've shown that I can be healthy, and that I can play defense at an elite level, and offensively, I'm no slouch at all. Like I need that $40 million contract. Like,
and What's wild is, yes, he's going to command that. Yes, that the Grizzlies are likely going to pay him that, but he's also proven that he'll take a team-friendly deal if it means that he can get other guys signed. He's worth every freaking penny of a $40 million contract. There's no doubt about it, and I hope that's what they sign him to. But it also would not surprise me in the least if he came back and said, look, like, I'll take a near max so that we can pay Edie or we can pay Vince or Gigi to keep this team together, because that just feels like the kind of guy that Jaren is. And I may be way off on that, but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to go in there and demand supermax money that's going to cripple the team based on his current contract. Now, he deserves it, but based on the team-friendly deal he took, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again.
I don't know that he very happy to be here, right?
I don't know that he took a team-friendly deal. I think that was a deal that he earned based on 3 years of being injured, you know?
Sure.
But I do believe I think ultimately, like, he'll do what he'll benefit the team, I think. And if he wants to get paid every cent that he's owed, then more power to you. Go get paid, you know?
It might the nature of the deal, the fact the descending or the ascending, the fact
descending.
That's the fact that he's willing to do that is very team friendly. He seems to really love Memphis too. Like I got to see him speak at a live podcast in Memphis 2 years ago, and he is just such a thoughtful dude. Like really cerebral. Like he just thinks about it. I was so impressed hearing him speak, and if it were me, I would keep him here forever.
You can tell the way he plays. He's a high IQ basketball player. He's smart. Like he makes some boneheaded decisions here and there, but we fancy ourselves as, between the three of us, we're one smart fella, and we make boneheaded decisions between, every now and then. And so like these things happen, but he is a very, very smart guy, very smart basketball player. And him and Ja had a great little Twitter exchange about staying in Memphis forever. And I hope that's what happens.
So Jared's contract, when he signed it, it was a 4-year, $104 million contract. Year 1 was 29, year 2, 27, year 3, 25, which is this year. He's getting paid $25 million this year. Next year is 23 and a half. And then in 26, 27, he'll be unrestricted. He will sign an extension before hitting unrestricted free agency. Definitely. Yeah. And right now, like you don't really see the trend of players not signing max contracts. Like they're going to sign it. If they get pissed and asked to be traded, then they'll do that. But they're going to sign that contract, and so will Jaren. Yeah,
and if all goes according to plan, hopefully it's. I love him, and he's one of those dudes that I just really love. There's certain guys you just love. Seeing him interact with the people in the town, like he's just one of those guys that really warms my heart to see everything that he does for this city. I hope he's here for a long time.
And he's like the elder statesman too. I mean, he got here. He played with Mike and Mark. Like he's been here, and it seems like there was a vast difference between Jaren's draft and Ja's draft, and there was when it comes to like just the psychological well-being of a Grizzlies fan. But he is, now that Dylan's out of the way, he is like the elder statesman of that locker room, and he's the perfect guy to do it. Ja's your superstar, but Jaren's like the heartbeat of that team. I feel like he's the one that can
we go as
the president of that team if you're electing somebody.
We go as Jaren goes, and he deserves. Speaking of president, he deserves a Presidential Medal of Freedom for the act that he did last year, carrying that team on his back, being the leader, as Wayno said earlier. Like that dude, like earned his stripes in Memphis last year, being the guy on a very bad team, because he could have checked out easily in December or January when Ja got hurt and didn't play anymore. Like he could have said, you know what, like I'm just gonna take a lap and see y'all next year. But instead, that dude went out and played hard and led the team. It's awesome.
Oh, this is
something I was thinking about, and I hijacked the comments here.
No, good. I missed it. Take it.
This is interesting because I was thinking about this today. I think that Jaren has some of the best footwork and post moves of anybody in the NBA. We know that he can get to his shot. He can get in the lane easily. With Edie now, like I'm hoping, I don't want him to turn into this guy, but if he went 35% 2 years ago from three. Last year he would drop down to 32. If he can get up to like 38 to 39%, heck, if he's doing 40, I mean, we're talking like first, second team all NBA. If he can get up to like 40, and so I think they're going to want to spread him out a little bit more now that Edey's there. And so if that's the case, I would really hope that I would have told him if I was his coach, like, hey, get that 3-point shot up to the over 35, 37 to 40.
That would be my goal, over 35% with, I would say, at least 5 attempts. I want him at least shooting 5 threes a game. I think that he's that good, and I think he needs to shoot. That's what that would be the one thing. It's not even, and work on because his form is great. I would just be like, hey, brother, you're shooting more. That's what I would say.
That's it.
He took on a roster that had no players last year. He took 5.5 threes per game. Shot 32%. He shot 50% from the field.
Keep shooting.
That really needs to
keep shooting, man. He's not. It's not like Dylan. Like Dylan was like, he kept shooting. We need him to stop. Like Jaren, you just need to keep shooting, brother, because you're going to get that eye. His shot is too pure. His eye is too good. He's going to find it. Keep shooting, Jaren.
Yep, keep shooting, Jaren. That's going to be it for Grizzlies right now. We're going to, I don't know what else we're going to, we're training camp starts soon, so that'll be fun. But we're going to move to fantasy football, baby. Uncle Buck, did you win this weekend?
2-0.
Yeah.
In the most improbable of fashions. I'm telling you, I nobody wants to hear you talk about your fantasy football team. I know it. This was awesome. I was down 16 points going into Monday Night Football.
Oh.
With Christian McCaffrey in my starting lineup. However, I also had one Jake Moody who put up 26 as a kicker. And I stole it. I stole the win. I was like, I'm donezo, but no.
Did the person you beat
from the grave he arose?
I bet the person you beat was so upset.
He was pissed in the group chat.
Getting
beat by a kicker is awful.
What's
He's
bad
so mad.
is like every year I talk about like getting rid of kickers because I don't like dealing with it. And I didn't even I don't care for kickers so much that I didn't even remember who my kicker was until I get a message from Pat who I'm playing. And he's like, of course I'm going to get beat by a kicker. And I looked, I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to win this thing. I was so mad. Christian McCaffrey getting scratched.
That's kind of a good transition. I want to talk about like over and under reactions. Let's just some players I want to hear on your team, and maybe not just that you had, but like a kicker getting 26 points. That's not going to happen regularly. And I mean, there were some guys that went off, like Tyreek Hill is going to be Tyreek Hill every week. But if there was one guy who's a player that like a score, a point total that you're overreacting to, each of you, and one that you're underreacting to?
Rusty, you got one off the top of your head?
I do. And by the way, we didn't realize this, Uncle Buck, but you and I face each other in our league this weekend. Versus the Mystic Dan Campbell's. But for me, and I got absolutely, I knew that trophy was coming in. Yeah. So my overreaction, and I got mortal hell for drafting this guy on draft night. Saquon Barkley got me 33 points at his first game in Philly. I think that O-line is perfect for him. He was good in New York with an awful team around him. You got a great Philly offense with a ton of weapons. Jalen Hurts you can run, and on draft night everybody's like, oh well, Jalen Hurts is gonna get all those red zone goal line touchdowns. Saquon scored 3 times inside the 20s, so I am high on Saquon. I think it was an awesome pick. It's one game, but I'm massively overreacting. Saquon is going to carry me to victory this year.
In the same vein, I'm overreacting the heck out of Cooper Kupp's 30-point game. I got him in like the 4th or 5th round, and I knew people were drafting Nakua way too high. I was like, Cooper Kupp, word out of camp is that this dude is back and he's mean, and that dude, I don't know. Cooper Kupp, if he can, I think he's going to be top 3 receiver in fantasy by the end of the year.
Yeah, I've got him in a league. Yeah. Just like you. Like, I would rather have Cooper Kupp late than Puka in the first round. And once Puka went out, I mean, Cooper Kupp was targeted with a pass 21 times in one game. Like, that's ridiculous.
Stupid.
Goodness.
21 times. Ended up with 33 points if you do PPR scoring. And so, yeah, he was great. I am not overreacting to tight ends. One.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you looked at like tight ends in like how they did in week number 1, but basically they were pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, across the board, if you spent high draft capital on a tight end, like Kelsey had 6 points, Mark Andrews, I don't know if he got anything really.
Yeah.
And
Isaiah likely got all the points.
Yep.
McBride had no points. And all these guys, Laporta did not have any points. And so, listen, my thing with tight ends is it's kind of like kickers at this point. Like you just you have to have a spot, but if you can't freak out about tight ends because the person you're playing, their tight end probably sucks too.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
And so I've got what's his name? Caleb McBride. Is that right?
Trey McBride.
Trey McBride. Then Caleb Trey. You can see how I got that mixed up. Trey McBride, I've got him, and he was no good, but I was like, you can't sweat it too much because tight ends just go down every single year. It seems like they just can't find a floor for the tight end position group. And so I'm not really worried about it. And I think that the superstar tight ends, I think Kelsey's going to be fine. I do. I think Kelsey's going to be fine. I'm not spending a lot of money. We do a fab budget where we bid. It's like an auction on waivers.
Auction budget. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did not go and spend a lot of money to try to get Isaiah Likely. I think he went for 45 fab this morning in our league, which has 200, an allowance of 200. So about 25% of the fab is all it took to get Isaiah Likely. And so I just feel like you're playing Russian roulette with Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. You know, just pick one every week.
Couldn't agree with you more. If there's something that I'm underreacting to, I'm going to stand up for this because I'm angry. Look at me. Everybody on the Bears offense needs to get better. All of you. I'm looking directly in the camera. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze. What are you doing hurting yourself so early? Swift, DeAndre Swift, Caleb Williams. You got to throw more than 100 yards, brother. It's got to be more than 100. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, if you're going to have 93 yards passing in a game, then none of your pass catching options are going to be options for you. Like I love Keenan Allen like a son. Like I've loved him for years. He had the most targets of anybody on that team, but the quarterback only had 93 yards passing. I mean, what can you do?
And on the other side of that coin, for me, it is I'm underreacting on how a rough first game for Calvin Ridley. I think that he's going to have a big year. Will Levis got to throw the ball to somebody. He's got to figure out how to throw the ball.
There it is.
Well,
he
threw the ball
like I said
underhanded.
yesterday,
Six, so.
He's the same guy we saw at Kentucky. I'm out on Will Levis. I don't believe in him, but I'm underreacting on how poorly Calvin Ridley looked in game 1. I think there's still a high ceiling for him, and I think they're going to figure out how to get the ball. Like I would not be surprised if, much like Hugh Freeze at Auburn, they're going to shrink that playbook, shorten the number of reads, and say, look, you got 2 reads, you either get rid of it or you run. And I think that's kind of where it's going to be this weekend. I hope. So I'm underreacting on Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I don't want Calvin Ridley. I wanted him really badly in the draft season, but Will Levis throws a football like Napoleon Dynamite.
You want to see me chuck this football over this mountain?
Not Uncle Rico.
Not Uncle Rico. Oh, that's the worst thing you can ever say about anybody. He throws a pass, not like Uncle Rico, like Napoleon Dynamite.
That's it. Yeah.
Who I'm curious, Uncle Buck, who spent the most? Who was the biggest waiver wire pickup? Was it
Likely? It was Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, same in our league too.
You know, I've got a pretty stingy league. We all play a lot, and it's a 12-team league. And my biggest gripe with the 12-team league is that the waiver wire stinks, and so everybody ends up with a a lot more money than they actually need because it's just week 1 is the big waiver week, but there was nobody. I mean, I got Baker Mayfield just because
why
not? You
Yeah,
know, and made a trade. I had Christian McCaffrey. I did make a trade yesterday.
Okay.
You can grade it for me. I went and got Jordan Mason, the backup for Christian McCaffrey, and I gave up Raheem Shaheed from the Saints 1 for 1. I feel pretty good about it. So he's worth more to me than anybody else, anyways.
Yes.
That is Jordan Mason. So
that's true. That's when you're. I'm all for. I don't want to say handcuffing yourself, but that's getting
that's
the backup.
A good situation to get a handcuff in. For
that
sure.
is a good situation to get a handcuff.
Because they said like McCaffrey's calf is good one day, not so good the next. It sounds like it's going to be a long-term lingering issue. It's good to have a handicap that if he's out, obviously Jordan Mason proved he can do it. So
I've always drafted the handicap for my star running back every year, and I never use him. So this year I didn't do it. And so I paid the price.
Well, we're going to learn. We learn, Uncle Buck. We're learning. We're going to take a quick break. I'm excited for fantasy. Fantasy's back. I also won. So you're looking at an undefeated panel right here. One of us
changes this weekend. That's it.
I'm saying it was going to change after this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh God, fantasy. We back. Fantasy football's back. It's just so nice. You know, it might be too much information, but it's nice to have like a default poop thing to go when you're pooping. You can just be like, my little
scroll the waivers. Yeah.
Scroll while you check your lineup. While you that's what I do. But we'll be right back after this break, and then we're gonna draft. Actually, we're gonna draft some Game of Thrones. We're gonna draft day, not the movie Game of Thrones, and because we can do that now. But first, we're gonna take a break. Right after this, we'll be back.
One of the questions as far as my writings for the Wizards was, what's going to happen with Tyus Jones? And I kind of was able to narrow it down. He had 3 teams that he was primarily looking at, and that were the Memphis Grizzlies, the Phoenix Suns, and the Atlanta Hawks. From my understanding, Memphis they offered him more money. Memphis offer was somewhere around $5 to $6 million, but they wouldn't have given him an opportunity to start. And I believe that was something that was really important for him.
I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but I don't think the Grizzlies actually made a serious run at Tyus Jones. And at that number, I don't even consider that serious. You know what I mean?
A lot of people in Memphis didn't really want to believe that the Grizzlies were interested in Tyus Jones. And I think a lot of, from what I saw on the internet, a lot of that has to do with you guys' expectation of what Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be. The Memphis Grizzlies very much like Scottie Pippen Jr., but I'm also here to tell you they went out and tried to get a backup point guard.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Representing your country and winning, I think I'd black out on the podium. Because when I watch these people whose names I won't remember a week from now, and they're on the podium and they have tears and I start crying because I'm like, what a moment for this person. I'm getting a little nervous talking about it right now, BK.
I would shed 3 tears.
Oh.
I wouldn't be nose running crying. Not that crying. You know, there's levels to this crying game. There's
shoulder shaking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even when the tears stop, you still like, that's when you used to get in trouble though. Your parents used to give you, that's when you used to get beaten.
You stop.
Yes, you better stop crying.
Exactly.
Put that thing on that bottom lip.
I'm not crying.
Right, yeah. I would definitely be up there. I would cry.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm getting you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I was muted and I couldn't hear myself. And I was like, that was a great intro back from the message. And now I can't hear me. I was like, did I lose it? I was really upset. Welcome back to our show. You can catch everything. Night Court, $2 Sports Show will be later this week. We've got no bluffing this week. We just got a lot of shows. Grizz 901 coming back. And this is all at bluffcitymedia.co. Forget that M. You won't need it. I have never typed it on there. I don't know what happens when you do it, but avoid it. Don't do it. Back to our show, though. On Wednesdays, we draft things because it's draft day, not the movie. Draft day, not the movie. And this is a draft that I have been looking forward to since Rusty started Game of Thrones. Today, we are going to be drafting our very own small councils. I'm also going to throw you guys, I just decided this just now. We're not going to do a Master of Ships because I think
the only one I've got.
Oh, I had a good one for that one.
Was it a Greyjoy? Because it's like everybody wants a Greyjoy. Like
Mine was.
Yeah, mine was too. It was just a Greyjoy. So I'm going to, and that's 6. So we're going to do a small council. We will be drafting a Hand of the King, Lord Commander of the King's Guard, a Master of Law, a Master of Coin, and a Master of Whispers. We were going to do a Master of Ships, but I think we all either had that's a very small pool to pick from.
I had Yara. I'll just say that.
That's who I had too. Yara was number 1 on my big board.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do Davos.
Davos was number 2 on my big board, but I've got
I had him pegged somewhere else. But
keep going. And we're also not going to do Grand Maester because Samuel Tarley is the only character that would matter here, and it's just I don't want us fighting over him. So he will be all of our Maesters, but he's going to be everybody. Where's my hat? I got to get the hat. Okay. We will. But yeah, and it doesn't matter what order you draft them in. You can do any order you want. You can draft your Master of Whispers first if you wanted to. But we will draw the names to see who goes first.
And wait, no, I'm going to say no. It doesn't matter if they died in the show or not. We're just picking somebody across the entirety of the show.
Yep.
If they didn't survive the show, sorry, but they were my whatever for a little while.
If they were alive at any point in the show, it counts. Doesn't matter if you could pick that dude that goes north of the wall in the very first episode and then dies in the prologue. But why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Okay, let's see. I'm shaking a lot. This matters. This one matters. Who goes first?
Big time.
Uncle Buck.
Coming up bases.
Damn it. You're next. Hey, I didn't go last. I've not gone last ever. I went second to last week.
Last time, yeah.
Okay.
All right, Drew. Yep.
Listen, this seems pretty obvious to me. I'm going. Then again, I'm torn. Now
it's harder than you think.
I'm getting in my head. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going to start. I think there's the most important role in a cabinet or a small council is your number 2. You know, you've got to have that guy that's by your side that never wavers, and that can also do your dirty work. And to me, that's got to be a Stark. You know, they are unwaveringly loyal to your own, and they are just morally good people. I just feel like I want to rule with I want to lead peace times. I want to be a good king that everybody trusts, you know? And so I want a number 2 that's going to fight my battles for me, and he's going to do it fair, and he's not going to have to bother me with it. He's just going to take care of it and let me just be like Robert Baratheon and just, go hunt, and have fun. So I'm going to take the best hand, Ned Stark. He's just a good man. He's the guy that I want in my corner.
So Ned Stark's off the board. Can I tell you that I was going to take him with my first pick, but not at hand? I was going to take him. I was going to take him with Master of Laws.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that as well.
But he's good pick. Great pick. Yeah, great pick.
Thank you.
My first pick, I'm also going hand. I feel like this is kind of a softball to me to take it. I mean, his character arc and development is incredible. His experience across multiple kings, queens, whatever. Give me Tyrion as my hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
The good characters are just going to go first. That's what's going to happen, right?
Hands are gone, and now I have to be like, okay. So where do I?
Hey, listen, my second and third hand are still pretty good, man. There's still some good hands out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Davos as my hand. I'm gonna take Davos.
There you go.
I liked. He's a good character. I like Davos a lot. He's the man. He's the man.
All right, Luke, you got another one on the turn.
Oh man! Tables have turned, boys. I forgot I get to go back to back.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Master of Coin. I'm gonna do Tywin Lannister.
Oh, they always repay their debts.
That's a good one. That's a strong one. I'm going to go Kingsguard for my next. And I don't know that there's a better option here than Jorah Mormont. Give me Jorah as the Kingsguard.
That's a good one. I was going to go Kingsguard next as well. And I figured you were going to take this guy. I'm going to have a lot of fun with my Kingsguard. Okay. I want, as the head of my Kingsguard, Tormund.
Yes,
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Big Luke.
Yeah.
Is the big woman still here?
Yeah. Give me Tormund as my head of the Kingsguard. We're just going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. What you got next?
Oh, that's right.
I'm trying to keep y'all on task here.
I know, because there's so many good characters. We're all like, okay.
I've got my list going. I'm like, trying to work through it.
Listen, the show gives you the best Master of Whispers. I'll take a layup here. Yeah. He's got a network. It's Varys. Yeah. Varys is the best Master of Whispers. This is not dramatic or thinking outside the box. The show gave it to us. So yeah, it's Varys.
Are you? Yes. So I'm going Master of Whispers next. Are you ready for this one? This is the perfect Master of Whispers because he could literally be anybody, and it's the faceless man of Bravos. No one. Yaquin Nagara. Give me no one as my Master of Whispers. My man could throw on a face and literally be anybody and get any information you want. The faceless man of Bravos.
I hate how good that is.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Also, I did cheat. And again, I kind of worked on this together last night. So I'm
okay.
That one I came up with, but she helped me with a couple others. So shout out Maggie.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go Whispers here too. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go Lady Tyrell, the old Oleana, the older lady. I bet I know where you had her. I bet I know where you had her.
No, dude, I thought that was so safe. Olenna Tyrell is so good. She's going to be my Master of Coin.
I had her on so many spots. I was like, I love this old lady. This old lady she owns my heart.
Oh, I thought, man, what a perfect Master of Coin. From Highgarden, all the grain, all the coin. Daggone, man, good one. That's a good one. What's your next one, Luke?
Okay. I'm throwing my notes. Okay, so I've got
Law. You got a hand, a coin, and a whisper.
I need Law and Kingsguard. So my Master of Master of Law. Okay, wait. Oh God, I'm just gonna do Kingsguard by myself time. Kingsguard, my head of the Kingsguard, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Jamie.
That's a good one.
I like Jamie.
One hand or two.
I'm gonna take one-handed Jamie because he
can delegate better.
He can delegate better, and he's better hang. Two-handed Jamie, you never know when you might walk on him doing something.
Yeah,
with his sister.
Weird. I'm weird with his sister.
Weird with his sister. I'm out on that.
So dadgummit. So my first two choices for Master of Coin are gone. I still got a couple good ones that are there. I'm gonna go Gendry Baratheon for my Master of Coin. He's got the experience, the bloodline. He worked in the iron shop, like he welded swords and stuff. I think Gendry's a good character, and
Gendry's great.
This is a great point Maggie made last night. He survived the entire show with everybody knowing he was Baratheon's bastard son and had a direct line to the throne, and he somehow survived the entirety of the show. So give me somebody like that on my council. Gendry is my Master of Coin.
Low key, one of the best characters in the whole show. He's so stinking cool. He's so cool.
Yeah.
Seems like a cool hang too. So I mean,
yeah.
All right, Drew, you got two.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Well, where did my list go? Master of Laws, and just another good person. Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah,
Good choice.
call.
Good choice.
And then I've got a Master of Coin. And so right now, full disclosure, I'm just thumbing through the list here of people that we've missed. And I just want to have somebody cool to hang out with, and Master of Coin, you got to be pretty good with money, but we're just here for a good time. We're not here for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So I am going to take I'm going to take somebody who just deserves to be on our team. Rob Stark.
Good. Yep. I got him sitting on a lot of lists because I'm like, bro died way too early. Bro could have done some good things. Could have done some good stuff.
He was like mowing through the Lannister army and gets killed because he falls in love with the wrong person, and Walter Frey takes, right person to him, wrong person to Walter Frey. So there's that. All right. So do I take the obvious one for my Master of Laws, or do I go off the wall simply because I want her on my list? I feel like none of us have talked about Jon Snow. He's still there. I think he's great. His integrity is awesome. But my Master of Laws, simply because she's a badass. She looked at Jon in the face and stabbed him in the eye. She stood up to the Northmen. Give me Lady Mormont, the little girl from the north, as my Master of Laws. She takes no crap from anyone. She's awesome. She stood up for the Starks. If she's going to stand up for them against a bunch of grown men, I need her on my council, Lady Mormont.
She's the show. The fact that they can introduce characters like that so late, and you're like, I love this girl. This girl's great.
She's awesome.
She's awesome.
I mean, awesome, right? Like, yeah.
All right, so I just have Law, right? That's all I have
Master of Law left. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take Oberyn, the Red Viper. Who better to be my Master of Law than the guy who had his sister and his nieces and nephews killed? He knows what's right, and he knows what's wrong, and he's a little crazy. He's kind of a wild card, so you don't want to piss him off. So you got to stand with your laws.
Yeah.
All right.
Like it.
So let's recap our. Man, this is good. Let's recap our squads. I'll go first. For my hand, I have Davos. My Master of Coin, I have Tywin. My Kingsguard, I have Jaime. My Master of Whispers, I have Oleana. And my Master of Law, I have Oberyn.
I'm upset about that Lady Tyrell pick.
I have Ned Stark as my hand. I have Tormund as my Kingsguard. I love that, by the way.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm going to have Varys as my King of Whispers, or Master of Whispers. I've got Rob Stark as my Master of Laws. No, Coin, and Brienne of Tarth as my Master of Laws.
And I had the best King's Council in Tyrion as my hand, Jorah Mormont as my King's Guard, the Faceless Man of Bravos as my Master of Whispers, Gendry as my Master of Coin, and Lady Mormont as my Master of Law. That's a solid council, man.
That Master of Whispers on yours might have put you over. That's good. That's good.
This is by far the worst draft I've ever done in my life.
Ever.
This is incredible. This is fun. This is a good call.
Good. We're gonna put this on. I'm gonna put this on X because I'm curious because this is fun. I would back all these. All these are better. All these are better than some form or fashion of what we had in the show at some point. I'll take them. That's gonna do it for the show today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We're probably not gonna be back tomorrow. We might be taking a day off tomorrow. But we will be back Friday. We're gonna talk college. We're gonna talk NFL. There's a lot going on this weekend, even though I think it's kind of the poop weekend in college football, right?
Yeah.
Where but not great, but we'll still maybe get some bets. We'll talk. But everybody have a good day. Enjoy your Wednesday. If I can leave you with anything today, remember to be a little weird. And remember to smile like Uncle Buck right here. See y'all. Have a good one.